Folks, what do you think? I think it's happiness. And I think it's up to us. And I think that we will contemplate the vastness of God, the greatness of God, the creativeness of God, the variety of God. And we'll think about those things, but we will not think about evil. We will not watch the 6 p.m. news. The 6 p.m. news is the devil's ploy to try to convince you that God doesn't know how to run this world. Well, God does. So we won't let evil come into our lives, will we? We were talking about Buddha, and it was so nice, and it was peaceful, and it was compassionate, and we didn't hear about violence. And when there was violence, it was carefully eschewed, circumvented. And we went to Brother Lawrence, and Brother Lawrence helped us so much be happy. Remember, he said, contemplation surpasses all other activities in joy. Now we're at Jesus, the Christ. And we're finding enormous supplies of happiness in Jesus. And we're reading the book of Matthew. The Bible we're using is the New English Bible, the New Testament, Matthew. I'm going to run about Matthew 3. I made these notes on microcassette. We're moving from Buddha to Brother Lawrence to Jesus, and no more reading. That's enough. Just do what we hear. John the Baptist felt the same thing that you and I are feeling.
One with God.
People are not enough one with God.
In divine union.
No divine
And
union.
he wanted to do something about it.
And he wanted to do something about it. John the Baptist.
About that time, John the Baptist appeared as a preacher in the Judean wilderness. His theme was, quote, repent, for the kingdom of heaven is upon you.
Let's repent. Let's together, you and I, repent. We repent for everything that we have done wrong. We are sorry about it. It makes us feel bad all over, and we were wrong to do it. And we don't want anything more to do with it. The kingdom of heaven is at hand. The kingdom of heaven, we'll translate it as happiness. God is mighty, God is vast, God is big, and our itty-bitty minds are too small to grasp the vastness of time and space of God. But we know what happiness is.
Unquote.
Happiness is at hand.
Good message, John.
Good message, John. Good message.
Repent.
Repent.
The kingdom of heaven is upon you.
The kingdom of heaven is upon you.
We have repented.
We have
Keep up
repented.
with it every day.
Keep up with it every day.
And the kingdom of heaven is upon us. And we spread the happiness.
We
And
spread
each day.
the happiness
With
each
God we
day.
go.
With God we go
Right.
to spread the joy of love. We win each day
We win each day.
the happiness of life. We count our blessings, we give thanks, we give joy. Stop the cruel, stop the cruel.
Stop the cruel. Stop the cruel.
And Jesus came to see John the Baptist, and to be baptized by John. Jesus, to be baptized by John.
Then Jesus arrived at the Jordan from Galilee and came to John to be baptized by him. After baptism, Jesus came up out of the water.
After the baptism, Jesus came up out of the water.
Now, we have Matthew 4.
We're moving on to Matthew 4,
Of Jesus.
temptation of Jesus.
The same is in Buddha, and Buddha's enlightenment with temptation.
Same as Buddha's enlightenment, the temptation.
Thank you that they persevered.
Thank you that Christ did not fall to the temptations.
And followed the call.
And he followed the call.
Today,
Repent, the kingdom of heaven
taught
is at hand.
no teachings have come down to us. Through the ages have come down to us through the ages.
And thank you for those teachings that have gone down to us through the ages. 2,500 years ago, Buddha. 2,000 years ago, Jesus. And 1,800 years ago, Brother Lawrence. Walking by the Sea of Galilee, and he saw two fishermen, Peter, known as Simon, and Peter's brother Andrew. And he said, "Come, I will make you fishermen, fishers of men. I will make you fishers of men." To bring people who are in the nets out. Then he went on, and he saw another pair of brothers, and that would be James, Zebedee, and his brother John. And John turns out to be, he's only about 17 years ago. He's only about 17 years old. John. And he starts following Jesus. And Jesus turns around and looks at him and says, "What are you looking for?" Folks, what are you looking for? What a great question. What are you looking for? You're looking for happiness. And I tell you, you are happy, but you just don't know it. And the reason you don't know it, like myself, is that we don't stop long enough to realize how happy we are. So he went around the Sea of Galilee, healing whatever illness. Oh, how great. Whatever illness among the people. Oh, that's wonderful. His fame reached the whole of Syria. Every kind of illness. Racked with pain. Don't you wish we could do that? Possessed by devils. Epileptics. Paralyzed. They were all brought to him and he cured them. Isn't that wonderful? I see the sick people around us today and I would like so much to cure them, wouldn't you? He went to all 10 towns. Jerusalem, Transjordan. And chapter 4, Matthew. The New English Bible.
When he saw the crowds, he went up the hill. There he took the seat. And when his disciples had gathered around him, he began to address them. And this is the teaching he gave.
Sermon on the Mount.
The Sermon on the Mount. Begins.
Sermon on the Mount.
How blessed are those who know that they are poor.
Can you help me with that? What does that mean? How blessed are those who know they are poor.
The kingdom of heaven is theirs.
The kingdom of heaven is theirs. What does that mean? How blessed are the poor who know they are poor. For theirs is the kingdom of heaven. What does that mean? The kingdom of heaven, we know what that means. That's the kingdom of happiness. Getting our thinking straight, getting our living straight, getting our wisdom straight. What's it mean? How blessed are the poor. How blessed are they who know they are poor. Okay, we'll move on to the second beatitude.
How blessed are the sorrowful. They shall find consolation.
Absolutely. There is no need to be sorrowful for 1 second. Just think of the blessings that are showered down upon you like millions of raindrops, millions of blessings. There goes the sorrow. Indeed.
How blessed are those of the gentle spirit.
Yeah.
They shall have the earth for their possession.
You, O gentle spirit, you shall have the earth as your possession. What's it mean? Blessed are those of gentle spirit. You shall be filled with happiness. No violence, no meanness, the gentle spirit. 4.
How blessed are those who hunger and thirst to see right
That's you and I. We hunger and thirst to see right prevail. And we do everything we can to help right prevail, particularly for the animals. No exploiting of animals. No using of animals for our own gain. We hunger and thirst after that which is right.
They shall be satisfied.
We shall be satisfied.
How blessed are those who show mercy. Mercy shall be shown to them.
Tell me about that, would you? When do we show mercy? When do we show mercy? We show mercy when we loan somebody some money and they can't pay it back. We show mercy. We find ways of helping them pay it back. We get it down to $10 a week. We say, well, if you would go on your way home past the store, and if you would get this, we will pay you $10 and take it off your bill. Yeah. Blessed are those who show mercy, for they shall receive mercy. Isn't it pretty? Sermon on the Mount. Chapter 5, chapter 6, chapter 7.
How blessed are those whose hearts are pure. They shall see God.
That's what we're working on, isn't it? How are we coming? How blessed are those whose hearts are pure, for they shall see God. We say that God is so vast in time and space that our itty-bitty minds cannot intercept God. So we say, to us God is happiness. How blessed are those who are pure in heart, for they shall see happiness. And what is it to be pure in heart? Hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil, think no evil, and do no evil. Don't let it come into your life. Instead of thinking about it and all the rot that's on the 6 p.m. news, you think, God, are the physicists right? Are you expanding? Are they right about that? And if you are expanding, God, what's the purpose? What do you have in mind? What are you doing? God, is it right in your millions and billions of planets that you have creatures who are happy all the time and who are not mean and who are pure and who do see you? God, this is the Sabbath, Sunday. You are resting. After 6 days of brilliant creating and coming up another 6 days of magnificent marvels. Rising way above evil. Evil's way down there someplace and we're way up here now. We're way above it. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Good going, Jesus. Good going. The Sermon on the Mount. Beautiful. And God, whatever you are creating in this next 6 days, it will be even greater than the internet. The internet, such a phenomenon. And God, whatever you are creating in this next 6 days will be greater than what you've already created. Do you think about God as what God has created? Do you ever talk to God about what God is creating? What newness God is creating? Do you ever think of that? What God has created is going along beautifully. Hill and vale, tree and flower, sun and moon, stars of light, the joy of every hour, morning, noon, and night. Joy of eye and ear. There's enough to think about. Don't you ever dare let me think about evil. Blessed are the peacemakers. God shall call them his sons. Have you ever made peace between two people? It must be nice to do that. I don't think I ever did. Wouldn't that be a grand thing to do? You think we could do that? Oh, that would be exhilarating. Oh, that would be great. And then we wouldn't think of evil, because we would be so effulgent about creating peace that we'd be way above evil.
How blessed are those who have suffered persecution for the cause of right. The kingdom of heaven is theirs.
Blessed are those who have suffered persecution for doing what is right, for the
right. The kingdom of heaven is theirs.
and the kingdom of heaven is happiness. Right. It all falls, doesn't it? Not difficult to understand, is it?
How blessed you are when you suffer insult and persecution and every kind of calumny for my sake. And such it was gladness and exhilaration, exaltation. For you have a rich reward in heaven. In the same way, they persecuted the prophets before you.
That's true in the Western world. I did not see evidence of that in the Eastern world when I was reading about Buddha. I didn't see that, but it was certainly brutally true. In the 1st century, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, and all the way up through the 16th and the 17th, 18th, people did suffer and were persecuted because they were trying to bring us closer to God to happiness. Peace at last, I lay down. I laid down all my trophies. And clung to this. And the crown did come. Okay, that's the end of the Beatitudes. Matthew chapter 5, Jesus, the Christ. Buddha was not persecuted.
Brother Lawrence was not persecuted.
Brother Lawrence was not persecuted.
You are salt in the world.
You are salt to the world.
Tasteless. How is its saltiness to be restored?
How is the saltiness to be restored? Well, in our happiness, folks, we are salt to the world. We spread happiness. And it's great. I have to tell you about the maternity ward. And the nurse brings out a darling baby in her arms. And she says to the father, "What'd you want, a boy or a girl?" And he says, "I wanted a girl." "Sorry, this is a boy." And the father said, "Oh, okay, that's my second choice." If we lose our happiness, we are good for nothing. And we aren't any use to anybody. You are light for all of the world. In our happiness, we are light. Our happiness cannot be hidden. And it's not put under a tub, our happiness. Our happiness is out there for everybody to see and enjoy. Remember, don't put your light under a bushel, and Buddha said the same thing. Be a lamp under yourself. Shed light.
When they see the good you do, they give praise to your Father in heaven. Don't you love it, folks? Don't you love it?
Good for you, Jesus.
It's snowing.
Good for you, Jesus. We go out, we do good, we spread happiness. It's not for our glory. It's for the glory of God, the Father in heaven. We go out and we do happiness, and then people think how great God is. And that's the greatest thing you can think. I love God. God is great.
It's snowing
Oh,
with seriousness.
that would be last year, not this year. Do you know, folks, that here in the Northeast, of all places, we had the one snowstorm on All Hallows Eve, October 31st. All Hallows Eve. The next day was All Saints Day. We didn't get it. We got only an inch. And then it snowed on December 7th. And that was nothing, really. It was about an inch. Do you know there hasn't been any snow since? And this is January 8th.